It was, Hill 112 was high ground. Wasn't a large hill, a high hill. It was high ground, and you could see for miles all around the British front, eh? And Montgomery said, we must take that hill at all cost. And there was first the Polar Bear Division, the 49 Division. They tried to take it, as far as I can remember. What they told me, I don't know, because I wasn't there then. And then the Scottish took over from them. They tried to take it, but they couldn't, because every time they got pushed back with the Germans, because they'd got everything there then. They'd got these Tiger tanks and Panther tanks, because this was after the landing, and that was all reinforcements that had come to Normandy. And then come our division. Montgomery said, take it at all cost, which we went into battle on the 10th of July. That was our first major battle, and our battalion's job was to take the village of Malta, which was it was up about 2 kilometres from where we started. Anyhow, the battalion, our company was on the left flank. We took all our objective, and then the rest of the battalion were fighting in Malta, but all of a sudden our artillery stopped. There was no support from the artillery because the two officers in the the two officers that was in charge of the firing from the artillery were killed with a direct hit. And so our battalion, the carrier driver from our company come along to our section, and then I was just a private, and Corporal Collins said, what do you want? He said, I want somebody to come into the carrier with me. I'm going to try and get into the village where the rest of the battalion is fighting because they're getting short of ammunition. He said, I want a volunteer to go in the carrier and man the brain gun. I said, I will. I got in the carrier with Percy Young. He was the driver, and we drove into Malta. We must have gone right through the enemy lines because we didn't know exactly where we were going. Anyhow, and in front was a big Tiger tank. I could still see it, and on the right was an anti-tank gun with Germans. I fired the brain gun at the anti-tank gun. All the Germans got down flat on the ground, and Percy said, we'll have to get out of this, and he turned the carrier around and he drove back to our lines, and the Tiger tank fired and the shot went over our head. We heard it go over, and anyhow we got back to the enemy lines, and there was an officer. He said, after the battalion is wiped out, he said, we're going to make a stand here and fight to the last man. I thought, oh, that's not so nice. Anyhow, we stayed there for a while, and all of a sudden an officer came and he took us back further where there was all slit trenches, so we didn't have to dig a slit trench. We got in the trenches and we held the Germans with a counterattack. And the division took the hill. Took 2 or 3 days to take it, but they lost in those 2 days 560 dead and 1,800 wounded. Yeah, it was more like the First World War. The shells and the mortars was coming over, one every minute, some every 50 seconds. Anyhow, That's why we've got our memorial there on the hill 112.